With the returning trend of matches going into late game more often, together with the combination of other balance changes, a lot of forgotten heroes will start to move back into the spotlight. But today, we will focus on supports of both the 4 and the 5 position that benefit the most of the late game trend and will contribute massively late in the match. Hey ProGuides family, I'm Dan, and today we're going to be looking at some of the support heroes that are going to love where the meta seems to be headed, taking a closer look at some specific heroes we think are among the biggest winners of the new patch. Over the course of many patches in recent years, support players always had great luck when it came to their roles, and especially changes in the economy that benefited them greatly. From bounty rune changes to earning money from stacking camps and the introduction of neutral items, supports have it easier to earn gold than ever before, and 7.27 has yet again only buffed the support player's gold gain. Now that the average game will last longer, 4s and 5s will have even more impact than before. Let's talk about 8 support heroes that you can pick that will become really strong in the later stages of the game. Today's question of the day is, which heroes do you think are getting buffed next patch? I personally think Sven is getting a big buff. Who hasn't experienced it before? Gathering your team to ambush the enemy team, carefully planning your next move, and ready to jump onto your opponent just to be greeted with a 4-second AoE fear followed by what only feels like artillery raining from above. Dark Willow, as squishy as she might seem to be, cannot wait for the late game to arrive. One big advantage of hers is that she doesn't even require that many items to be effective. A big AoE disable that scales extremely well into late game, and a talent tree that strongly enhances her abilities. A level 25 Dark Willow with an Aghanim's Scepter is a force to be reckoned with, dealing high loads of magical DPS with the enemy's BKBs running down to 5 seconds and no proper way of defending themselves. Even without the attack speed talent on level 25, she can opt in to go for the 5.3 second fear duration on Terrorize instead, making it one of the best AoE disables of the game on a relatively low cooldown of just 80 seconds. On top of that, she offers a potential AoE stun with Cursed Crown and roots with Bramble Maze. She is one hero you really do not want to oppose late in the game. Our Blue Ball is the next big winner on our list simply for his ability to provide the strongest backdoor push in the entire game, being able to raise towers, barracks, and even the Ancient if need be. All that it takes is a long match and a strong partner for IO for this to work. When you can relocate with your carry every 35 seconds, on top of your level 25 talent, which allows you to attack whenever your tethered unit attacks, and add a Desolator or other damage items into your inventory, no fast rotation or fortification will be able to save the opposition's buildings, making it even possible to win a seemingly lost match with this strong combination. IO might be the most difficult hero to execute on this list, but the reward can be just brilliant to witness. Next is the twin-headed dragon, JAKIRO. Already one of the stronger support heroes in this patch, JAKIRO excels later on in the game due to his giant teamfight potential and crowd control. Ideal for both aggressive and defensive situations, his skill set allows the dragon to make the battlefield his to own. With one of the strongest AGs plus 25 talent combos, JAKIRO can render one big strip of the map virtually inaccessible for the enemy for 30 seconds, turning Macropyre into a pure 225 DPS spell that also pierces magic immunity, while sitting in a far enough distance to not even be in risk. Any offensive or defensive objective can be easily held for the duration of the spell, shall it be either high ground or Roshan's Pit. If that wasn't enough, JAKIRO has another long-range spell that scales simply well into those parts of the game. A successful Ice Path can turn a fight in favor of JAKIRO's team. The huge 2.5 second stun, or 3.5 seconds if the 25 talent is activated, almost as long as Enigma's Black Hole, make the battlefield difficult for the enemy to maneuver. Together with the already strong ultimate, the hero can offer extremely high BKB piercing DPS on top of an enormous hard disable from way outside the actual action, making JAKIRO a dangerous monster in the late game. Now for one of the defensive heroes, making it hell for your opponents to take your high ground and turning with one of the more underestimated Aghanim's Scepter upgrades of the game, LICH. The Frost Mage specializes in keeping his allies and buildings alive, while he also offers some dangerous nuke damage, and even more so when he reaches the high levels and collects the right items, giving him the ability to not just burst heal his teammates, but also his buildings, making him the second hero after TREANT Protector to increase the armor and regenerate structures if not fully destroyed. LICH's OGS upgrade turns his Sinister Gaze into an AoE ability. Important is that this 2.3 second hard disable has no cast time and can quickly catch multiple unfortunately positioned enemy heroes off guard and assist teammates to quickly kill defenseless opponents. With the right control or the right amount of luck, unlimited Chain Frost bounces can punish the even slightest inattentiveness of his enemy and deal devastating damage to turn the tide of a fight. Paired with defensive items and any cast range boost, LICH can utilize his skill set even from a safe distance and become a strong pillar of his team in the late game. If infinitely scaling damage sounds like the right thing for you, this hero might be just the right one for you. Lion is a nightmare for many. Once you get hexed, all you can do is pray not to get fingered by this heavy nuker. No less so late in the game when this support initiates with his team behind him. The other hero on this list that offers a spell that disables with no cast time, similar to LICH, turns into an AoE ability with his level 25 talent, giving Lion a total of 2 AoE hard disables. Combine this with a teamfight heavy strong team, and every fight shall be yours to win. His creme de la creme shall be his Finger of Death, which when paired with Ags, not just offers a 20-second cooldown, 1000 plus damage instant nuke with 325 AoE around the main target, but also adds 40 damage for every successful kill with the ultimate, clearing wave after wave and being a major threat even when originally starting as a 5. With the help of his 20 talent, Lion can gain some tankiness to also possibly survive assassination attempts, making him tankier than our boy looks. Even as a support, Lion can offer some of the best late game disables and nuke damage in all of the game. Ever since multicast effects items, the opportunities with Ogre Magi seem endless. Due to the nature of longer games and Midas being at a slightly better spot than before, Ogre can use this to even better create his own game and gold on the map like no other hero. One positive change is that Ogre does not require to rush for the Midas to make it work effectively. With the games going longer, he does not need the tight time frame to go for this play. He can easily build a team item before he ventures into his quadruple multicast Midas adventure, barely losing any efficiency on that end. But not just gold for himself. Bloodlusting his teammates at any stage of the game turn them into farming machines, making him able to boost his entire team's GPM, meaning the longer the game goes, the better this idea becomes. Multicast makes Ogre Magi unpredictably strong in the late stages. Midas will allow him to go for a lot of expensive items like Scythe of Vise, Dagon 5, or even Abyssal Blade. For those who don't know, Abyssal Blade's active can be used on multiple close targets at once if multicast is procced. If that was not enough, with level 25's added damage to Fire Blast, a singular 4x Fire Blast will deal 1,920 damage with just a single cast. Add Oghnims into the mix, and you now have another Fire Blast on a 6-second cooldown in your arsenal. Oh, and have I mentioned that Ogre Magi is also naturally one of the tankiest heroes in the game? Without items and the HP talents, Ogre Magi sits at a whopping 3,200 HP at level 25. Want to make your high ground defense a nightmare for your opponents? Say no more. Treant Protector might primarily be a defensive hero, but his BKB piercing ultimate allows for a lot of synergies, even extremely late into the game. The only efficient way for Treant to gain net worth is to push out lanes with meteor hammers and take fights with overgrowth. But now if the games last long enough, this will result in even Treant Protector getting some items. A Treant with Oghnims and Refresher Orb is not to be messed around with. Even though he deals the least damage on this list, his disables during fights and with the help of eyes in the forest keep vision and control all over the map. Outside of fights, it is incredibly difficult to gain map and lane control against a Treant. At all stages, Treant will simply heal away chipping damage that is applied on his own towers. Try finding this slippery invisible hero when you are constantly being slowed, rooted, and pressured across the map while he manages to stay in a safe distance. Use this and the map shall be yours. Even if you entered the match as a support Vengeful Spirit, you can turn it into a great damage dealer with decent control in the late game. Her abilities make it easy for not just her, but also her teammates to scale better and further into the game. Bonus attributes, attack range, minus armor for the enemy, and a BKB piercing 1.7 second stun at level 25, Venge is definitely no laughing matter. Now that gold is easier to obtain than before, even Vengeful won't find it too difficult to gain access to items that help her deal more damage and transition into a semi-carry late into the match. Her high armor also helps her to sustain quite a bit of physical damage, and even if she dies, she remains useful. May it be just the aura she carries with her illusion or with the talent, her still using her spells from beyond the grave. Additionally, once again, Aghanim's Scepter comes to the rescue and can massively improve her capabilities in crowd control, giving her a 2-second 700 AoE fear whenever she uses Swap, which she has 2 charges of. In conclusion, you can see that the age of the sacrificial position 6 is long behind us, and the age of the rich 4s and 5s are in front of us. Also, with the end of the fast-finishing zoo meta and now longer games, this particularly benefits the previously discussed heroes to shine even more and easier than they could before. I hope after watching this video, you guys got some grand ideas of what support heroes you want to enter your next game with. Go and show them that even supports can have a great impact in the late game. Good luck in your games, everyone, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.